Hello everybody and welcome back to Cinematic Venom, and today we're going to be doing something a bit differently. So Jimmy and... oh, the lighting there is awful. Let me move over here. Jimmy and a few other people have wondered what goes into an episode of the 1001 or reviews in general. So I thought I'd do this episode showing you exactly what does go on into making one. Specifically an episode of the 1001, because the Cinematic Venom reviews are much different style-wise, but I'm going to go over the differences today anyway. So first of all, this is my setup. So this is where I sit for all the reviews, and obviously these are the 1001, and I've actually ordered them in the order that I reviewed them. So if you go right back here, very first one is in fact The Godfather. And then yeah, you've got the likes of... I am racking this place. You know, Amarcord, Good, the Bad, the Ugly, Ikairu, you know, so that's all there, specifically in order. Once I get a bigger setup and a house and everything, I want to do like maybe a standing setup where I have shelves and the intro is me putting the DVDs on there, because I think that looks so awesome. But today, you're not going to see this until the episode is up. But it's Planet of the Apes. Now, my history of Planet of the Apes, before I even rewatched this, because a lot of these films I've got some kind of history with, but I haven't watched them in years or something, and I end up liking them a lot more this time around, or something like that. Avatar was one I hated, and then I rewatched and I actually kind of liked it. So Planet of the Apes, my dad absolutely adored Planet of the Apes growing up. And I just couldn't get into them. I couldn't get into... He loved the original. I couldn't get into it. I found it really boring. And I just didn't bother with the sequels and the remakes and everything. So we're going to see what we think this time. So I have a split screen here. Media player here. And my notes here. And basically what I do is I will hit play on the movie. And as it goes along, I will pause it if there's a lot to type and I feel like I'm missing stuff, but I'll make notes of direct quotes that characters say, because there's a lot of times in reviews where I'll say something like, this movie sucks, and then it will cut to an actor from the actual film agreeing with me, kind of thing. So as I watch, I make notes of just random quotes that could be used later on. Like a woman will say, oh, of course not, something like that. I will make random observations, like cinematography is really good here, music is intense, or, you know, on the other side of the spectrum, this is really boring, nothing's happening, so-and-so did this, it doesn't make any sense. And the difference between an episode of the 1001 and an episode of the Cinematic Venom reviews is because the 1001 is an overall look. I go over the plot at the beginning and then the behind the scenes stuff. Whereas in CV, I'll go scene for scene. When I make notes for CV, I have to also write down what's happening every scene, or everything that's relevant to the story or lack of story. So I'll also write down so-and-so. That's my Twitter. Thanks, guys. So-and-so does this, so-and-so does that. So the 1001 is easier to make notes for because I don't have to write down literally everything, but you're going to see how I write notes. It's almost a 2-hour movie. Let's just get started. When writing notes, I will sometimes jot down a possible joke idea, even if I don't feel like it would fit in anywhere or would even be funny. They're just general ideas that later on I might think of ways to adapt on. These are just any random musings that pop into my head as I watch the movie. Okay guys, so just finished Planet of the Apes. A lot better than I remember, actually. I was getting really into it. The third act I have issues with. which you already know because you've seen the review before you've seen this, but it kind of dragged towards the end. But the point of this is, right, so I've got my notes here. This is really difficult to do with one hand, but so here's my notes. Sometimes it depends on the film. Like you can see on the scroll here, like how long a script is. Sometimes there's a lot of research, other times not so much. Now is the time when usually I leave the notes so the film can sink in a bit, because sometimes I just need to let a movie, I really do need to let a movie sink in before I can write the script. So I'll go off and do something else, usually an On This Day episode. Right now I'm just going to chill for a bit, maybe get Eric from school well, I've still got a couple hours, but do a bit of editing. But next is writing the actual script. So people want to know where I get the trivia from. Now, Wikipedia, I think, is a great starting point. There's a lot of trivia on this. It goes through the writing, the production, the editing, the reception, absolutely everything. Like as you can see, there is so much there. From there, I then go to IMDb for the trivia section. So this has even more info about the cast and crew, production, stuff like that. And also I will admit, I do check out goofs to see if there's any like errors in the plot, any plot holes, continuity things, anachronisms, character errors that I may have missed, depending on how big the issue is. And that's something I want to address, because obviously a lot of people say, you know, Wikipedia and IMDb, anyone can post. But the thing is, if you post anything on Wikipedia that's inaccurate, it does get monitored and it gets removed. And I know this because during my youth, I'd think I was funny and I'd post rude things on pages, and it would get removed in about 24 hours. And IMDb gets monitored by an entire team before it even gets published. I have a Dark Knight Stumbles IMDb page for my movie, and it got monitored by an entire team before it went up. So I do believe they're credible sources. If there's an outlandish claim on one of these that I feel like I do need to check another source to make sure that it's actually true, then I will go to Google and just Google it and try to read through sources to find enough credibility in this story. And the best example is Wizard of Oz, when I said,
"There's a scene where Dorothy slaps the Cowardly Lion, but Judy kept cracking up laughing take after take after take. Fleming got so frustrated, he actually slapped the 16-year-old actress in the face."
Yeah, Judy Garland apparently got slapped by a director, and I didn't want to just say that in case it wasn't true, so I looked into it, and yes, so things like that I do look more into. So what I basically do, I have a fresh new script open, and Wikipedia. I'll start with Wikipedia. I'll read through the trivia. I don't put everything in. There's a lot of stuff I leave out. So, you know, when the Titanic review, for instance, is like 40 minutes long, there was a lot I cut out. Because I just like to see, I only like to put the interesting things in, what I personally find interesting, what I feel like other people would find interesting. Oh, and also, as I go through the script, I will then, once I've gone through the production and everything and random trivia, I will then go back to my notes to add in my personal thoughts. And whenever I feel like there's a clip from the movie that should go in to reference what I'm saying, I will then go to my notes, get the timestamp, put that in as I edit along, and then basically I've got a script. You'll notice that sometimes I will include a timestamp but not specify what exactly is in the clip. 99% of the time I record the same night it's been written and the movie has been watched. It's purely by memory. If on the off chance I can't remember what it's referring to, I will load up the movie to jog my memory.
You may also wonder how I know when I will or won't be on the screen. I never write any indication, I just kind of know based on how I've written it or how it feels, as well as remembering from when I thought it up in the first place. I also sometimes feel like some things don't need to be scripted and I'll just write improvised rants so I can let loose, but I very often do neglect what's written anyway in favour of whatever feels natural at the time. Most of my popular angry rants are all on the spot without being scripted.
Okay, so had a bit of downtime, picked Eric up from school, chilled, did some on this day when I got home, and had dinner and everything, so it's now the evening, but I have finished this script. Yeah, it's not a very long review, so it shouldn't take me too long to record. I'm Skyping a few of the guys, which is Rich, who you guys have known from the live streams. He did the animation for my Fantasia review, and he's had a cameo here or there as well. And we're going to do crossovers in the future, so I Skype him and a friend Marianne, and a friend Naomi might be joining the Skype call tonight as well. So we're going to chill out during Skype, and sometimes I will film a review whilst on Skype. I mute the speakers so they can see behind the scenes stuff. They find it interesting, I don't know why. And then I tend to edit an outline of the review in the same night, and then do the final edit tomorrow to upload on that day. So we'll see what happens. I'll probably see you in a bit. Okay, so now I'm using my second camera to vlog the filming bit. I'm on Skype with these two.
What up?
Marianne has an awful film taste because she likes A Christmas Story and it sucks. And then Naomi likes Rocky Horror, so that's not nearly as bad, but it's still pretty bad. Right, so over here, that is light as hell. Got studio lights. This is when I do Let's Plays or vlogs, because I'm usually sat here and my tripod usually is there. I used to have 2 sets of these, but I'm an idiot one day, and one of the stands fell and the lights basically exploded on the floor. So I need more bulbs, but I'm broke. Patreon, link in the description. So I use those lights, I leave them there like that, because obviously I'm sat over here. But it's not enough, so I have a second light. Yeah, God, I'm awful camera skills here. Boom. And this is the camera that I use. I'll leave the link for all the equipment that I use in the description, but I'm awful with technology, so I'm not gonna lie. Off the top of my head, I have no idea what kind of camera this is. Sony 4K apparently. Whatever that means. I have a shotgun mic up top, Rode, plugged straight into the mic socket, which is good because the camera I'm using right now doesn't have that. And then I sit here. And yeah, this is my view. And now I'm going to switch to this camera to show you how I set up the shot, basically. So this is the shot that I've just set up. And as you can see, this is awful. So it's wonky as fuck. Oh shit, I've got to get the right level because I'm such a perfectionist, and it's so easy that I can now, and then that's wonky, record, direct from in front of the camera. So do that, and then obviously you can see the mic. I can't help that, it's a big ass thing as you already see. It's not the only thing, ladies, it's not the only thing. And then, so I'll have to zoom in. Like that. That's pretty much it. Okay, so now when I film, I'm not, although I'm a perfectionist, I don't do, and if I'm doing a movie or a short film or like a Venom Manor episode or stuff like that, I will do numerous takes, so in editing I can decide which one I prefer. With reviews, I don't really do that unless I feel like I've fucked up a take. So I'll read the line, and if I feel like I've messed it up, I'll do it again. And then once I've nailed it once, that's enough for me. Or if I've forgotten what I'm referring to, like there's a clip in the movie, I'll give a few different deliveries. Other than that, it's straight through. Planet of the Apes tells the story of 3 astronauts, only one of which will actually have a career after this, played by Charlton Heston, who enters deep... Fuck, nearly nailed it. Planet of the Apes tells the story of 3 astronauts, only... Oh, for fuck's sake. Once I mess up once, I have a tendency to mess up a lot more. So people think I'm professional, but you'll see in the crossovers in Venom Month, I'm not. Well, look at my crossovers with Jimmy. They also discover that this particular planet is overrun by... So overrun or overran? Overran. Or is it present? They also discover... So it's past tense. Discovered. Discover. Present. Overrun. Overran. Why am I such a perfectionist? Is it overrun or overran? But I'm fascinated with Heston, who seems more intelligent and is actually attempting to form words. He attracts... See, I'm not going to lie. When I watched the movie, I didn't really pay attention to any of the ape names other than Cornelius, because that's an actual name. So I can't remember. I think it's Zera. I can't hear you guys, but is it Zera or Zyra? You have to nod in agreement. Zera? Zyra. Hold on. What is it?
Zera.
Zera.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. See, you guys think I'm professional? I'm keeping all this in the video. But he's even given some woman to mate with. I bet... Sometimes I'll let improvise and come up with jokes that aren't written, I don't know. Given some woman to mate with. I can't... Usually I think quicker than this. Hold on. It's because I've got an audience, you see. I was going to say I wish we were all that lucky, but I've got a girlfriend. That doesn't make sense. She'll just slap me. It's fine. Pfft, lucky bastard. That'll do. I'm lazy. Producer Arthur P. Jacobs purchased the rights to the... This is a French name. So when I get to a word or a name I can't pronounce, which, by the way, imagine how much time it takes for me to review a foreign film, I have to look up the pronunciation. I'm going to guess. Pierre Boulet. Pierre Boulet. I was actually wrong. Wrong pronunciation. Fuck. Okay, so apparently it's not Boulet, because I was adding too much French. But we've already established that the book was terrible, so who cares? But we've already established that the book's terrible, so blah, 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 blah. That's what we've established. John Wayne. I'm trying to remember the famous line, because I need to copy it. Get your stinking hands off me, you damn dirty ape. Get your stinking hands off me. I've forgotten it. Whoa, dude, you have a tiny dick. Don't know why I made them sound like surfer guys. Whoa, dude, you got a tiny dick. It's got to keep coming up as a surfer dude. Whoa, dude. No, I can't do it. It's a surfer dude. Fuck it. Hey! Oh, right. Never mind. Yeah, you're true. That was shit. How do they make these movies once a year? It's taken me 3+ years to... fuck. How did they make one of these movies a year? It's taken me 3+... I almost said 3+ movies. I've made 3+ movies, guys.
How is it? Nope. Fuck's sake. It's my last on-screen bit and I'm fucking up. A remake by Tim Burton. I'm going to change this. A remake by Johnny Depp's Bay in 2001.
Okay, so just filmed the actual review, and there's 2 skits. One of them I thought of whilst filming that, so it wasn't even written. It's going to be the Michael Myers gag. Now, with green screen, I have 2 green screens. One of them isn't very wide. It's what I use for Let's Plays. So it's a standing one that I basically... Computer's there. I put it about here, and... It, like I say, it's not very wide. I used it for the Dan Ball diss track, so that's why in vlogs and stuff, if I use them for vlogs or Let's Plays, my arms disappear because it's not very big. But for this one, I kind of need more room. Oh, that lighting sucks. There we go. So when I need more room for a green screen, it's literally the wall behind this, which means I have to move this son bitch and this son bitch. And then the green screen is just a green sheet that you can actually, when I was still learning, because I've lived in this flat for 7 years, when I was still learning what I was doing, for some reason I thought, let's put up a green screen with actual screws. So the amount of holes in this fucking wall, like, it's ridiculous. And now I use safety pins, so they're a lot easier. Don't make as much damage or anything. So let's do the green screen.
When setting up your green screen, do not take my example. Make sure yours is as clean as can be and ironed. Any creases in it will make it difficult to edit out later, as will shadows. I just lucked out because I'm a lazy douchebag. Do better than me.
I always have problems with green screens. I've gotten a lot better with it. If you remember last year, all of the 1001 episodes were green screen, but they were very time consuming and I thought didn't look particularly good sometimes. And the main issue is the shadow. If you don't know, this motherfucker there messes up. So in theory, you don't want any shadow when you do the effect, so you have to stand further away, even though there's still a shadow there. But this flat is so small, I don't have the space. So that's the furthest I can move this back. I will show you the editing of the green screen, so obviously you can still see the room, not the movie. That's better than this review. So I'll cut all that shit out. But I'm gonna have to stand back anyway, because the scene I'm going for, I have to do that. I don't know how I'm going to do this, because it's cut off my legs as well, and I need my legs in the shot. Son of a bitch! Do I put it lower, or do I turn it the other way? You guys get to see me take this fucker down and put it back up the other way! Yes, I'm going to do this for a living one day.
You just like
So,
in your green screen or?
I've just realised, guys. For the Michael Myers scene, I need more space this way. So one scene I needed this. Oh.
Okay.
This had to happen on the day that I'm vlogging it. Okay, yes. I'm gonna flip the green. Let me do Michael Myers first. Okay, it's going back up. For fuck's sake. I also cannot stress enough that you need two sets of lights. One to light the subject, in this case me, and the other to light the green screen itself. If there are any remaining shadows, the alternative is to use the mask feature to edit them out, which you'll see me use later to get rid of the rest of the room to leave just the green screen in the frame.
You have to put it up again.
I'm exhausted. I've got to wear baggy ass overall. Michael Myers with baggy ass overall. This looks wonky. Or is it the green screen? Okay, so for this one, oh fuck's sake. Ah, fuck my life. Fuck's sake, camera, tripod. I'll swear at inanimate objects. Don't judge me. What are you doing with your life? Yeah, you'll see the microphone wobbles, because for some reason, this microphone won't secure properly on top of the camera, so it often falls off. You might see it in a sec, guys. This is a weird ass angle. There's the mic. Okay. I look so pissed off, holy shit. Okay, we're back. Right, so for this gag, Michael's chasing me and I've got to yell something equivalent to "It's a madhouse." What can I yell? I'll just wait for the moment. Everyone's going nuts! Everyone's going nuts! Yeah, it worked. I'm not far enough. Shit. Oh my God. BuzzFeed Unsolved merch. Go buy it. You know what? I'm not going to lie to you guys. I was going to edit the outline tonight. I don't know if I'm going to be in the mood now. I might just edit the whole thing tomorrow. Which, by the way, you see early if you donate to Patreon. Patreon.com/cinematicvenom. Alright. This mask is huge. Oh shit, my neighbour's outside. If you want a quick backstory, a couple of years ago, me and Jimmy filmed a review together. And in the review, we had to do a drinking game. And we weren't like Doug with the It review. This was real alcohol, which sounded like a good idea at the time. But because of this, we ignored the script a lot. We got drunk very quickly. And the camera ended up dying. But basically, we were filming until like midnight. And because we were absolutely smashed, to the point I nearly died. That's not an exaggeration. My girlfriend at the time said I stopped breathing several times that night. And the drinking game had to be called off. The sacrifices. But I was ranting and I was so loud that the man who lives downstairs yelled up because we had a window open and he told us to shut the fuck up. So I get antsy now every time he's outside. And now, this is coming down to go back up. How am I going to film my feet when my house is fucking smaller than my channel? I don't know. Right, so this camera is so far away, I can't actually see. Need binoculars, mate. It's like my girlfriend when she goes down on me. The shadow's probably messed it up. Fix it in post. I think my feet are in it. Hopefully. This is gonna go horribly wrong. My arms are probably gonna get cut off, so straight up. Oh no, that was haha. Alright, hairband. My girlfriend just leaves them randomly, and I've realised it's annoying when it gets caught in my hair, but I've also realised I cannot tie a hairband to save my life, so I end up fucking it up. But I got one, but it's really, really tight. Not like Percy's bum. So I don't know if this is gonna work, but I'll fix it in post. You know what, all you guys saying never take your top off in a video? I don't care, I'm keeping this in me. And for the record, I have no idea where I got this shirt. It wasn't my ex's, I have no fucking clue. Let's do this on camera and embarrass myself. I've got a stepdaughter, imagine when she's old enough for me to do this shit. Oh, I just flipped it. I'm so glad I'm not a girl. Yeah, it's not about periods or anything. I can't do it. That'll do. That'll do. It's out my face. That will do. Alright? Do you like my skill? Do you like my skill? Yeah. Ah. I'm in a movie. This is not a scarecrow. This is Superman. But I can't. Oh, I can do that. I'm in a movie. Hi! I'm in a movie! Ah! Planet of the Apes, starring Percy, I can see you now! Hi! I'm a sexy scarecrow. If only I had a condom. Right, so now... Oh no, not everything's filmed. Not everything's filmed. I'm going to keep the outfit on because I kind of like it. The last bit I always do is ticking the movie in the box. You guys taking me seriously in this outfit? I hope so, I hope so. I used to do a video of me zooming this in, but I was unhappy with it because this lens kind of wobbles, so when I'm moving forward, it didn't look very still. So, you know, just there, it's ticked now. I'm just going to do a still image. Okay, so you guys look ridiculous. So now everything's filmed and it's just down to edit, so I'm going to show you the entirety of the editing process of what I do. The first edit, the rough cut, which I mentioned earlier, let me take this off because I just look silly. The rough cut is basically the whole structure of the video. So it's my audio. It's my audio all the way through, so the voiceovers for when the footage of the movie is on, and then the video of when I appear, and the in-between clips. So basically there'll be a lot of black screens because it's just audio, and then when I'm on screen, and then movie cutting, and then I'll do the final edit probably tomorrow, or I don't even know when I'm going to do the rough edit, but that's basically how I do that. Hey guys, okay, so basically last night I was putting the footage from the camera on the computer, and it takes a long time because of the high quality on this camera, and my computer isn't very strong. It takes a long time, so I was Skyping the girls, and then Rich joined and just chilling out till about 1 AM, and it was taking too long and I was getting tired, so I thought, right, I'm just gonna head to bed. I wake up and it's still doing it. Jesus! So I'm going to just chill out, maybe write up some new On This Day episodes, just chillax and bump some music maybe while I wait for this to finish, and then I can show you how I edit.
And they won't ever tell you, but they hate to see you make it. And as soon as you get something for yourself, they want to take it. Well, go on, you can have it. I'll look away while you grab it. Boy, I don't need no stacks and I don't need no baller status. Ain't no power in the dollar, but the power's in the people. Cause our wallets ain't the same, don't mean we ain't created equal. I don't need for you to clap, I don't need for you to cheer. I just hope that when I speak that there's somebody there to hear.
Okay, so the video footage is now all on the computer. We're nearly ready to start editing, but basically I'm unhappy with the audio quality that I get. So as you can see here, if you listen,
like, especially here, I'll boost the volume without blasting the neighbours. There's not the knocking sound, but there's a lot of background noise, and I'm not having that. So this is what I do to fix that. This is actually a trick that you can even do this with the camera's audio. I have done this with the camera's audio. So I use YouTube downloader. Look at the video. So it's 13. This one. Convert it to MP3. So you can actually do this with the camera's audio itself, because the audio that's converting right now is obviously the shotgun microphone that's plugged into the camera. It just still happens to have background noise. There probably are better microphones that reduce that anyway. I don't know if anyone else has to do what I'm doing, but I've got no problem with it. It only takes a couple minutes, and I'm very, very happy with the results. I'm going to show you how to do that. That's all converted. So I have a piece of software called Unedited Pro. I got the 2.0 version. This is what I use for music. I'm probably way too zoomed in now. I can't see. But oh yeah, I use this for music. So I just open up the file, the converted version. Look at my speed. Later that same evening. Okay, it's 24 minutes. That's actually really good. Usually I spend about 45 minutes filming one of these. So what I do, I'll zoom in, and I'll have to find a gap where I'm not speaking. So around here, you hear that? That is awful. And that, like I said, that's not even the camera's mic, that's the shotgun mic. So you highlight a small section, and there's effects, noise reduction again, and you get profile from selection, and it basically just creates a guideline. You press OK, and now that bit is muted. So then you select the entire wave, go back, effects, noise reduction, and it's still got the guideline there, and it basically goes over the entire recording, taking out all of that noise. It will still leave some, like, I'll show you in a second, some weird staticky sounds that I've had a problem with in the past. Jesus, that screen is dirty. Look at that. Look at that. Jesus Christ. It's all my jizz. So you just go over it and do the same thing again. Sometimes you pick up on it. Sometimes I don't notice until I'm actually in editing. But yeah, that's basically, you see a vast difference.
So you can actually produce high quality audio with limitations. I don't know if I'm going to do it for this, because right now the shotgun mic, as you know, isn't on this because it's vlogging and it always falls off, so it'll be a pain. I might show you and just do the same thing with the audio for this, which is the camera's microphone, just to show you that it can be done. So you can use a webcam and do that. Take out the background noise. It won't make the quality of when you actually speak perfect, but it will get rid of the background noise and make it a bit clearer. You can do that with Unedited Pro, which isn't expensive. Very affordable, so please check it out.
Right, so that's now finished, and I'll zoom in, and again, look, now when I don't talk, see, now that's the weird noise I mentioned. I'm quite lucky there, because sometimes I can't find it right away. I found it. So you do the same thing again. Get profile from selection, okay, select entire wave. Okay, so that's now finished, and then hopefully...
Wayne.
Silence. I like to just go around and double check. See, that's fine because that's me about to speak, so I'm not wetting my lips and stuff. Save mix down as. Boom.
Now, as you guys know, obviously there's 2 skits filmed with the Michael Myers and Percy. I'm going to do that audio separately. I won't bore you to show you that because it's literally the exact same stuff. And then we're going to get into editing. Now, with editing,
I use Sony Vegas Pro 13. So I've got all the video files here ready. And this is the basic thing. So I've already put in, this is obviously the footage of me. So this is the audio that comes with the camera, the shotgun mic, the one. So we want to replace that. So I'll import the new audio, which is in my documents. Ignore the midget porn. Now, in theory, you'd think because it's the exact same audio that you wouldn't have to match it up. But no, for some reason, it knocks it a couple of seconds out. So if you zoom in, you can see like it's a couple seconds late. So you just drag it in, match it up. You don't actually have to play it technically. I've learned you don't really need to. So just match it up, shorten it, right click, group, remove from, and then basically this audio now is separate and I can just delete that. And then obviously these are still separate, but to do that you press D a couple times, highlight them both, press G, and go back to the cursor, pressing D again, and now they're connected. So now it's the good audio. So this is the shot that I've just set up, and as you can see, this is awful. Now you'll notice that this lags an awful lot. So it's wonky as fuck. It's not too bad, but basically it's because, again, my camera is too high quality for my computer to handle. You can change this as a preview, and you can go to quarter. It lessens the quality. The video itself now looks shit because it won't like looks awful, but it's not going to render in that quality. This is just to edit. It's wonky as fuck, and it won't lag. I mean, it might still lag a tiny bit, but nowhere near as bad as it would at full. So basically, I've done the intro here. And what I do, I've got the script in another window, which obviously has the timestamps for the in-between quotes and stuff like that. And then I actually have a second Sony Vegas open with the movie. So as I edit this and then I check the script, 12:27, I then go to this, go to 12:27, grab the clip, copy and paste onto this. And it's just a much faster process. That being said, let's start with Planet of the Apes. People often comment that I talk obscenely fast. In actuality, I edit out all of my breaths. I much prefer the fast-paced style, so unless there's a gag or I have to make some pauses to seem confused, it's always in a fast-paced mode. Sometimes, even during an edit, I will still come up with an extra gag. There wasn't one in this episode, but occasionally a visual gag or a clip from another movie will be edited in to create a new joke or add on to an existing one. Improvisation works all the way through this entire process.
Okay, so this happens every now and then, not often, but I missed a good chunk of the script. I don't know how, I don't know why, I must have scrolled too quickly, and sometimes I can drop it depending on what I've missed, but I really don't want to. So what I basically do is, it doesn't really matter about lighting or anything, I try to reenact the situation of where the microphone is, and I then sit down and record the missing portion and then do the same thing with editing. So with editing the audio and then slide it in. And I've done this a few times. Some of you guys haven't noticed, or I'll do this as well if I find out something else that wasn't in the recording or whatever. But sometimes I miss lines, so I'm going to do that now. Like I say, the shot itself doesn't actually matter. You might be wondering why I don't just use my Blue Yeti microphone, which is what I use for vlogs and on this day because it's at the computer and it's just easier. It's because the microphones won't match. It will sound inconsistent. So there we go. Yeah, that's exactly what it means. Piss off and get a life. So I was supposed to be on screen for that last bit, but well, I can't, so I improvise. Back to editing.
After the outline of the review is done, I then go back and do the music. There's no real technique here, I just loop the track and mute it whenever I feel like music isn't needed. Whether it's a serious moment or silence for added humour, or a clip is playing that just doesn't need it.
Okay, so rough cut is now edited.
So clocking in at 15 minutes, and as you can see, the outline, it's, yeah, like I say, just audio, black screen, unless I appear on camera or the movie interrupts me, it's all black screen, all the way through, as you can see. That's probably the easiest bit to do. I mean, with shorter episodes like this, it's not that difficult.
Titanic and Avatar, films like that were a pain because of the amount of stuff that needed to go into it. But this one's not too bad. So I can't really do much now. I'm chilling out for a bit before I have to go get my son from school. And then when I get back, I'm probably going to just chill out for a bit and then put together the final edit.
This is where I basically just fill in the black gaps. All the special effects like the green screen are always done last. I then watch it all over and very often need to adjust the volume of the movie's footage as it usually comes out too quiet. It's always different, but I boost it to remain consistent with me whilst watching the video over and checking for errors.
Well, this is annoying. So my screen didn't record all of the editing process, so the green screen stuff I always leave till last. I'll still put it in the outline, in the rough cut, but I'll do the green screen stuff last, and you didn't see it, so I'm going to have to show you it again on here.
So this is Michael Myers. I've moved it down, so as you can see, there's like the scene behind it at the top because there's too much shadow at the bottom. So that's what I've done. If you go on here, I've squashed it on. You can either do one or two ways. You can mask it, which is what I've done here. Just dot around the green bit, so it's just the green that you've got. And I've also squashed it in to get rid of the wall and the ceiling and all of that crap. Chroma Keyer, pure green screen. Just drag that on. And I don't know if you can see it on the camera because I'm not recording my screen, but it's not very good. So what you do is you use low threshold and just mess around with it. So as I'm toying around with that, it will get brighter. You just want to get rid of it. But here's an easier way. So if you untick it, choose the pen option, and then click somewhere on it. It will choose the exact shade that you want, and then retick it. I mean, obviously, the Rob one underneath is also done, so I'll tick that so I can work better. Right, so Michael Myers has started to fade away. So I'm going to mess around with the threshold. Oh, Michael's going. Right, there Michael's there. I mean, that looks pretty good, but there's still shadow here. See, like, if I do too much shadow, you just kind of mess around with it. There is one option, like, if you untick it, where if you go to
I mean, I've got a preset here, but color corrector and saturate greens, it will basically brighten the green, so then when you do chroma key, it will take it away a lot better. And you have to do that with both. And green screen always lags for me, so when I play this back, it will lag.
Everyone's going nuts! Going nuts!
But as you can see, there's still dots around me there. So I believe that's on Michael Myers one. So you go back to chroma key on the effects. And then they go, they've vanished. So you just kind of mess around with it until it looks flawless. Like all of my videos. And there we are. Rendering. Hour 25. And now the final thing to do is still not over. There's 2 more things to do actually. Firstly, you may have noticed that as I was editing, I kept taking screenshots of random bits of the video. That is because it's for the thumbnail. So basically, I will like Google Planet of the Apes to find a suitable image that I think would call in a thumbnail. I'll then go through the images that I've taken throughout the video, decide which goes better with it, and then I'll add the CV logo. And if the screen cap of the movie doesn't already have the title on it, I'll add the title, and that's the thumbnail. Let's do that. Well, there we go. Just one thing left to do. Let's have a look at what's winning on the poll for next time. Look at that. Since I started the poll, there's been nearly 2,000 votes. Results. You can't even see this unless I'm the only one who's able to look at this. So we've got a few. Alright, so 9.7 are winning, and it's